to die than to famish. First, you know Caius Martius is chief enemy to the people.
We know it!
Then, let us kill him, and we'll have corn at our own price. Is it a verdict?
One word, good citizen.
We are accounted poor citizens. The patricians good. The leanness that afflicts us. The object of our misery is an inventory to particularize their abundance. Our sufferance is a gain to them. Let us revenge this with our pikes ere we become rakes. For the gods know I speak this in hunger for bread, not in thirst for revenge.
Would you proceed especially against Caius Martius?
Yeah! He's a very dog for our commonality!
Consider you what services he has done for his country.
Very well. We could be content to give him good report for it, but that he pays himself for being proud.
Nay, but speak not maliciously.
I say unto you, what he has done famously, he did do that then. Soft-conscious men can be content to say it was for his country. He did it to please his mother and to be partly proud, which he is even till the altitude of his virtue. Why stay we prating here? To the Capitol!
Worthy Menenius Agrippa, one that hath always loved the people.
One honest enough, but all the rest were so.
What works, my countrymen? Where go you with bats and clubs? The matter, pray, you, speak.
Our business is not unknown to the Senate. They've had inkling this fortnight what we intend to do, which now we'll show them as deeds. They say poor suitors have strong breaths. Well, they shall know we have strong arms, too.
My masters, my good friends, my honest neighbors, will you undo yourselves?
We cannot, sir. We are undone already.
I tell you, good friends, most charitable care have the patricians for you, for your wants, for your suffering in this dearth. You may as well strike at the heavens with your staves as raise them against the Roman state. And for your dearth, the gods, not the patricians, make it. And you, on your knees to them, not arms, must help. But alas, you are transported by calamity, and you slander the helms of the state, who treat you like fathers, and you curse them like enemies?
Care for us. True indeed. They ne'er cared for us yet. Suffer us to famish while their storehouse is crammed with grain. Repeal daily any wholesome act established against the rich, and provide more piercing statutes daily to chain up and restrain the poor. If the wars eat us not up, they will, and there's all the love they bear us.
Either you must consider yourselves wondrous malicious or be accused of folly. I shall tell you a pretty tale. It may be that you have heard it afore, but since it serves my purpose, I'll venture to stale it a little more.
Well, I'll hear it, sir. Yet, you must not think to bob off our disgrace with a tale.
There was a time when all the body's members rebelled against the belly, thus accused it that like a gulf it did remain its bit of the body, idle and unactive, never bearing like labor with the rest. The belly answered...
Sir, what answer made the belly?
I shall tell you, sir. The belly answered... with a kind of smile ne'er given by the lungs, but thus... look, I may make the belly smile as I speak. What then? For me this fellow speaks. What then? Sir, I shall tell you, if you bestow some of what you have so little patience, you will hear the belly's answer.
Long about it.
Now, my good friends, your most grave belly was deliberate and not rash like his accusers, and thus said, "It's true, my incorporate friends, that I do receive the good food at first by which you live, but remember, I send it through the rivers of your blood, to the court, the heart, the seat of the brain, and through the cranks and offices of man, to the strongest nerves and the smallest interior veins, thereby receive that natural competency by which we survive. And though not all can... this says the belly. Though not all can see what I do give, but I can make my audit up and tell you that I do give you the flower of all and leave me but the bran. What say you to it?
That was an answer. I'll apply you this.
The senators of Rome are this good belly, and you are the mutinous members. For consider their cares and counsels, and you will find not one public benefit that you do not receive, but from them to you, and not you yourselves. What, you think you the great toe of this assembly?
Why the great toe? Why the great toe?
For that is being the basest, lowest porous of this most wise rebellion, thou goest foremost. Hail, noble Martius.
Thanks. Oh, what would you have, you curs? Oh, rubbing the porridge of your opinion, you make yourselves scabs.
Oh, we have ever your good word.
He that would give good words to thee would flatter beneath a boring. What would you have? You like nor peace nor war. The one affrights you, the other makes you proud. He that trusts to you where he should find you lions, finds you hares. Where foxes, geese. Trust you. With every minute you do change your mind. Call him noble that was now your hate, him vile that was your garland. But what's the matter that in these several places of the city you cry against the noble senate who under the gods keep you in awe? Which else would feed on one another? What's their seeking?
For corn at their own rates, wherein they say the city is well stocked.
They say. Hang 'em. Let's sit by the fire and presume to know what's done in the capital. Who's like to rise, who thrives, and who declines. They say there's grain enough. Would the nobility lay aside their roof and let me use my sword, I'd make a quarry with thousands of these quartered slaves, as high as I could pick my lance.
Nay. These are almost thoroughly persuaded, and though they abundantly lack discretion, they are passing cowardly. But I beseech you, what of that other troop?
They're dissolved. Hang 'em. They said they were hungry. Side forth proverbs that hunger broke stone walls, that mouths must eat, that meat was meant for dogs, that the gods sent not corn for rich men only. With these shreds they vented their complainings, which being answered and a petition granted them, they threw their caps as they would hang them on the horns of the moon, shouting their emulation.
What granted them?
5 tribunes to defend their vulgar wisdoms of their own choice. One's Brutus, one's Sicinia, I know not. Death. The rebels should have first unroofed the city, or so prevailed with me.
This is most strange indeed.
Go! Get you home, you fragments!
Where is Caius Martius?
Here! What's the matter?
The news, sir, the Volskis are in arms.
I am glad on it. Then we shall have means to vent our musty superfluity. See our best elder.
Well, Martius, 'tis true what you have lately told us the Volskis are in arms?
They have a leader, Tullus Aufidius, that will put you to it. I sin in envying his nobility, and were I anything but what I am, I would wish me only he. He is a lion I am proud to hunt.
Oh then, worthy Martius, attend upon Cominius to these wars.
It is your former promise. Sir, it is, and I am confident. Titus Lartius, thou shalt see me once again strike at Tullus's face.
I'll lean up on one crutch and fight with the other, or stay behind this business.
Or your company to the capital, where I know our greatest friends attend us there. Hence to your homes, be gone!
Nay, follow! The Volskis have much corn. Take these rats thither to gnaw their garners. Worshipful mutineers, your valor puts well forth. Pray, follow!
Was ever man so proud as is this Martius?
He has no equal.
When we were chosen tribunes for the people,
Liked you his lip and eyes.
Nay, but his taunts.
The present wars devour him. He's grown too proud to be so valiant.
Such a nature tickled with good success disdains the shadow which it treads upon at noon. But I do wonder his insolence can brook to be commanded under Cominius. Let's hence and hear how the dispatch is made, and in what fashion.
So it
is your opinion, Aufidius, that they of Rome have entered our councils and know how we proceed?
Is it not yours? Whate'er could be thought of in this state that could not be brought to bodily act ere Rome had circumvention. 'Tis not 4 days gone since I've heard thence. These are the words. They have pressed the power, but it is not known whether for east or west. The dearth is great, the people mutinous, and it is rumored Cominius, Martius, your old enemy, and Titus Lartius lead on this preparation, whither 'tis bent most likely 'tis for you. Consider of it.
Our armies in the field, we never made doubt but that Rome was ready to answer us.
Nor did you think it folly to keep your great pretenses veiled till they needs must show themselves, which in the hatching, it seemed, appeared to Rome. In the discovery, we shall be shortened in our aim, which was to take in many a town ere almost Rome should know we were afoot.
Come, noble Aufidius, take your commission.
Send the way, Sintesti! Vincula solve, in the way so viola.
If we and Caius Martius chance to meet, 'tis sworn between us that we shall ever strike till one can do no more.
The gods assist you.
And keep you safe.
Farewell.
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 Sing, or express yourself in a more comfortable sort. If my son were my husband, I would freely rejoice in that absence wherein he would find honor, than in the embracements of his bed where he would show most love. When yet he was tender-bodied and the only son of my womb, I was pleased to let him seek danger where he was like to find fame. To a cruel war I sent him, whence he returned, his brows bound with oak. I tell thee, daughter, I sprang not more in joy at first hearing he was a man-child than now at seeing he had proved himself a man.
But had he died in the business, madam, how then?
Then his report would have been my son. Therein I would have found issue. Hear me profess, if I had had 12 sons, each in my love alike, and none less dear than thine and my good Martius, I had rather 11 die nobly for their country than one voluptuously surfeit out of action. Ha! Ha! Ha!
Oh, Mother, the Lady Valeria has come to visit you.
Beseech you give me leave to retire myself.
Indeed you shall not. Methinks I hear your husband's drum. See his pluck Aufidius down by the hair, his bloody brow with mailed hand and wiping.
Bloody brow. Jupiter, no blood.
Oh, away, fool! It becomes a man more than guilt his trophy. Hecuba's breast, when she did suckle Hector, looked not lovelier than when Hector's brow spit forth blood at Grecian sword contemning. Tell Valeria we are pleased to fit her welcome.
Heavens bless my lord from fellow Aufidius.
He shall beat Aufidius's head below his knee and tread upon his neck. sweet madam.
I am glad to see your ladyship.
How do you both? You are manifest housekeepers. Oh, what are you sewing here? A fine spot in good faith. How does your little son?
I thank your ladyship well, good madam.
He would rather see the swords and hear the drum than look upon his schoolmaster.
Oh, my word, the father's son. I'll swear 'tis a very pretty boy. My troth, I looked on him a Wednesday, a half hour together, has such a confirmed countenance. I saw him run after a gilded butterfly, and when he caught it, he let it go again, and after it again, and over he comes, and catched it again, and whether his fall did enrage him or how 'twas, he did so set his teeth and tear it. Oh, I warrant it how he mavericked it.
One on his father's move.
Indeed, lad, 'tis a noble child.
A crack, madam.
Oh, come, lay aside your stitchery. I must have you play the idle housewife with me this afternoon.
No, good madam, I'll not out of doors.
Not out of doors?
She shall. She shall.
No, by your patience. I'll not over the threshold till my lord return from the wars.
Oh, fine. You can find yourself most unreasonably. Come, you must go visit the good lady that lies in.
I will wish her speedy strength and visit her with my prayers, but I cannot go thither.
Why, I pray you.
Come, you shall go along with us.
No, indeed, I shall not.
Truth, law, go with me, and I'll tell you excellent news of your husband.
Good madam, there can be none yet.
Verily, I do not jest with you. There came news from him last night.
Indeed, madam.
In earnest, it's true. I heard a senator speak it. Thus it is. The Volsces have an army forth against whom Cominius the general is gone with one part of our Roman power. Your lord and Titus Lartius have sat down against their city Coriolanus. There's nothing doubt prevailing, and to make it brief, wars. This is true on mine honor. And so I pray go with us.
Give me excuse, good madam, I'll obey you in everything hereafter.
Let her alone, lady. As she is now, she will but disease our better mirth.
In troth, I think she would. Well, fare you well, then. Come, good sweet lady. Oh, pretty Virgilia, turn thy solemnness out of doors and go along with us.
At a word, madam, no. I wish you much mirth.
Well, then, farewell.
All the contagion of the South light on you, you stains of Rome! You hood of boils and plagues! Blasting over you souls of beasts that bear the shapes of men! How have you run from slaves that apes would beat? Blood on hell! Men in charge over by the fires of heaven! I'll lead the enemy and make my wars on you! Come on, look to it! You stand fast and beat them to their wives! As they us to our trenches follow!
Foolhardiness, not I.
To the pot, I warrant him.
What has become of Martius?
Slain, sir, doubtless.
He's himself alone to answer all the city.
Oh, noble fellow, who sensibly outdares the senseless world, and when it bows, stands up. Thou art left Martius. Thou wast a soldier. Even the Nicanor's wish not fierce and terrible, only in strokes, but with thy grim looks, and the thunder-like percussion of thy sound, thou madest thine enemies shake as if the world were fevers and did tremble.
Look, sir.
'Tis Martius! Let's fetch him off, or make remain alike!
Breathe you, my friends! Well fought! We are come off like Romans, neither foolish in our stand, nor cowardly in retire. Believe me, sirs, we shall be charged again. Whilst we have with interims and conveying gusts struck our enemies, we have heard the charges of our friends. Ye Romans, Roman gods, lead them in good success as we would our own, that both our powers with smiling fronts encountering may give you thankful sacrifice. Thy news.
Citizens of Coriolanus have issued and given to Lartius and Martius battle. I saw our parties driven to the trenches, and then I came away.
Though thou speakest truth, methinks thou speakst not well. How long is it since?
Above an hour, my lord.
'Tis not a mile. Briefly we heard their drum. How couldst thou, in a mile, confound an hour and bring thy news so late?
Spies the Volskis held me in chase. I was forced to wheel 3 or 4 miles about. Had I not, sir, else half an hour since brought my report.
Who's yonder that does appear as he were flayed? O gods, he does bear the stamp of Martius, and before times have I seen him thus.
Come I too late?
The shepherd knows not the tabor from the thunder more than I know the sound of Martius' tongue from every meaner man.
Come I too late?
Aye, if you come not in the blood of others, but mantled in your own. How is it with Titus Lartius?
As with the man busied about decrees, condemning some to death and some to exile, pitying him or ransoming, holding Coriolanus in the name of Rome. But as for our gentlemen, the common file, a plague. The mouse never shunned the cat as they did budge from rascals worse than they.
But how prevailed you?
Will time serve to tell?
I do not know.
But where's the enemy? Are you lords of the field? If not, why cease till you are so?
Martius, we have at disadvantage fought and have retired to our own purpose.
Where lies the battle? Know you on which side they have placed their men of trust?
As I guess, Martius, their bands and devoured are the Anshiites of their best trust. O'er them, Aufidius, their very heart of hope.
I do beseech you, by the battles wherein we have fought, by the blood we have shed, by the vows we have made to endure friends, that you directly set me against Aufidius and his Anshiites, and that you do not delay the present, but filling the air with swords advanced and darts, we prove this very hour.
Though I would you were conducted to a gentle bath and balm supplied to you, yet dare I never deny your asking. Take your choice of these that may best aid your action.
Those are they that are most willing. But if any be here, as it were sin to doubt, they love this painting wherein you see me smeared. If any fear lesser his person than an ill report, if any think brave death outweighs bad life, and that his country is dearer than himself, wave thus to express his disposition, and follow Martius!
Yeah! March on, my fellows! Make good this ostentation, and you shall divide in all with us.
Fight with none but thee, or I do hate thee worse than a promise breaker.
We hate alike, nor Africones the serpent I abhor more than thy fame and envy. Fix thy foot!
Let the first budget die the other slave, and the gods doom him after.
Thy fly, Martius, hollow me like a hare.
These 3 hours of Phineas alone I fought in your Coriolanus walls, and made what work I pleased. It is not my blood where you see me masked. For thy revenge brings up thy power to the highest.
Wert thou the Hector that was the whip to thy braggart progeny, thou wilt not escape me here.
If I should tell thee, or this thy day's deeds, thou'lt not believe my words. But I shall tell it, where senators shall mingle tears with smiles, where great patricians shall attend and shrug, in the end admire, where ladies shall be frightened and gladly quaked, hear more, where the dull tribunes, who with the fusty plebeians hate thine honor, shall say against their heart, we thank thee, gods, our Rome has such a soldier. Oh, General, here is the steed, we the comparison.
No more of this! My mother, who has a charter to extol her blood, when she does praise me, grieves me. I have done what you have done, that's what I can. Induced as you have been, that's for my country.
Oh, too modest are you, more humble to your good report than thankful to us who give you truly. Of all the treasure in the field achieved at city, we give to you the 10th, to be taken forth before the common distribution at your only choice.
I thank you, General, but I cannot consent
Martius.
to make my heart take a bribe to pay my sword.
Martius.
I do refuse it. But here I stand upon the common part with those that have beheld the doing.
Martius.
No more of this! That I have not washed my nose that bled, you shout me forth in exclamations hyperbolical.
Therefore, be it known as to us, to all the world, that Caius Martius wears this war's garland. In token of which, and from this time, for what he did before Corioli, call him with all the applause and clamor of the host, Caius Martius Coriolanus, bear the addition nobly ever.
Yay!
Caius Martius Coriolanus!
Yay!
I will go wash. When my face is fair, you shall perceive whether I blush or no. Howbeit, I thank you.
So to our tent. Where'er we do repose us, we shall write to Rome of our good success. You, Titus Lartius, must to Corioli back. Send to us the best at Rome with whom we may articulate for their good communication and ours.
I shall, my lord.
Go we to our tent. The blood upon your visage dries. 'Tis time it should be looked to. Come.
The town is taken!
Will be delivered back on good condition.
Condition? I would I were a Roman, for I cannot being a falsy be, but I am. Condition? What good condition can a treaty find in the part that is at mercy? 5 times, Martius, have I fought with thee. As often hast thou defeated me, and wouldst do so, I think, should we encounter as often as we eat. By the elements! If e'er I meet him again, beard to beard, he is mine, or I am his. Mine emulation has not the honor in it it had. For where I thought to crush him at a true force, true sword to sword, I will potchet him in a way, or wrath or craft will get him.
He's the devil.
Bolder, but not as subtle. My valor stained with only suffering stained by him. Nor sleep, nor sacrifice, being naked, sick, nor fane, nor capital, the prayers of priests, nor times of sacrifice, embarkments, all of fury, will lift up their rotten privilege and customs against my hate for Martius. Where I find him, be it at home, at my brother's guard, even there, against the hospitable cannon, will I wash my fierce hand in his heart. Go thee to the city, find out how it is held, and of they that must be hostage to Rome.
Will not you go?
I will be attended the cypress groves. I pray thee, 'tis just south of the city mills. Bring me word thither how the world goes, that to the pace of it I may spur on my journey.
I shall. Sir.
The augurer tells me we shall have news tonight.
Good or bad?
Not according to the people's prayers, for they love not Martius.
Nature teaches beasts to know their friends.
Pray you, who does the wolf love?
The lamb.
Aye, to devour him, like the hungry plebeians would do the noble Martius.
He is a lamb indeed that baws like a bear.
Oh, he is a bear, indeed, that lives like a lamb. You two are old, wise men. Answer me one thing that I shall ask you.
Well, sir?
In what enormity is Martius poor in that you two have not in abundance?
He is poor in no one fault, but stored with all.
Especially in pride.
And topping all others in boasting.
Oh, this is most strange. Now, you blame Martius for being proud.
We do it not alone, sir.
Oh, I know you can do very little alone, for your helps are many. Or else your actions would grow wondrous single. Your abilities are too infant-like for doing much alone. You talk of pride. Oh, that you could turn your eyes to the napes of your neck and make an interior survey of yourselves. Oh, that you could.
What then, sir?
Why, there you would discover a brace of unmeriting, violent, proud, testy magistrates, nay, fools, as all are in Rome.
Menenius, you are known well enough, too.
I am known as a humorous patrician. One that enjoys a hot cup of wine without a drop of allaying Tiber in it. One that converses more with the buttock of the night than the forehead of the morning. What I think, I utter. I spend my malice in my breath. Meeting two such wheelsmen as yourself, if the drink you give me touch my palate adversely, I make a crooked face at it. I can't say that your worships have delivered the matter well, for I find the ass in compound with your major syllables. And while I must be content with those that say that you are wise, grievous men, they lie that tell you you have good faces.
Come, sir, come. We know you well enough.
You know neither me, yourselves, nor anything. Good end to your worships. More conversation with you I find would infect my brain. And though you are the herdsman of the beastly plebeians, I am bold to take my leave of you. How now, my fairest gentle ladies? Whether do your eyes follow so fast?
Oh, Honorable Menenius, my boy Martius approaches. For the love of Juno, let's go.
Martius, coming home?
Ah, yes, worthy Menenius, and with prosperous approbation.
Oh, Jupiter, take my cap. Oh, Martius is coming home.
This is true.
Look, here is a letter from him. The state has another, his wife another, and I think there's one at home for you.
I will make my very house reel tonight. A letter for me?
Yes, certain there's a letter for you, I saw it.
Oh, a letter for me. It will give my estate such 7 years of help that I will lip at the physician. Oh, does he come home wounded? He was wont to be wounded.
No.
On his brows, yes, he is wounded. I thank the gods for it.
So do I, too. If it be not too much. Does he bring a victory in pocket, or do the wounds become him?
His brows, Menenius, he comes a third time home with the oaken guard.
Has he disciplined Aufidius soundly?
Titus Lartius writes that they fought together, but Aufidius got off.
Is the Senate noted of this?
Come, ladies, yes. The Senate has a letter from the general wherein he gives the whole name of the war to my son. He hath, with this last outing, outdone his former deeds doubly.
Oh, in troth, there's wondrous things spoken of him.
Aye, wondrous, and not without his true purchasing.
The gods grant them true.
So true! I will swear them true! Where was he God save your good worships! Martius is coming home! He's come with more to be proud of. Where was he wounded?
In the shoulder and the left arm. There will be large cicatrices to show the people when he shall stand for his place. He received in the repulse of the Tarquins 7 hurts in the body.
1 in the shoulder and 2 in the thigh. There's 9, I
He
know.
had before this last expedition 25 wounds upon him.
Makes 27 wounds in every gash. It's an enemy's grave. The victory trumpets.
Those are the ushers of Martius. Before him he carries noise, and behind him he leaves tears. Death, that dark spirit, in his nervy arm doth lie, which being advanced declines, and then men die.
No Rome, but all alone did Martius fight within Coriolanus gates, where he has obtained with fame a name to Caius Martius. These in honor follows Coriolanus. Welcome to our Rome, renowned Coriolanus. Look, sir, your mother.
You have, I know, petitioned all the gods for my prosperity.
Nay, good soldier, gentle Martius, worthy Caius, and deed achieving honor, newly named. Oh, what is it? Coriolanus? What did I call thee? But thy wife.
'Tis
not laughed had I come coffin home that weepest to see me in triumph? Such eyes the widows in Coriolanus wear, and mothers that lack sons.
The good gods crown thee at last.
Well, I know not where to turn. Welcome home. Welcome, General. Oh, you are welcome all.
100,000 welcomes. I could weep and I could laugh. I am light and I am heavy. Oh, welcome, everyone. A curse on the very root of heart is not glad to see thee. Why, you are two that wrong should dote upon. And yet by my faith in men we have some old crab trees here at home that will not be gleaned to your relish, but welcome, warrior.
Your hand. And yours. Here in our own house I do shave my head. The good patricians must be visited, from whom I have received not only greetings, but with them change of honor.
I have lived to see inherited my very wishes and the buildings of my fancy. Only there is one thing wanting, which I doubt not our Rome will cast upon thee.
Know this, good mother. I'd rather be their servant in my way than sway with them in theirs.
On to the capital!
All tongues speak of him, and all cleared sights are spectacled to see him.
On the sudden I warrant him consul.
I heard him swear were he to stand for consul, never would he appear in the marketplace, nor on him put the napeless vesture of humility, nor show, as the manner is, his wounds to the people beg their stinking breaths.
I wish no better than to have him hold this purpose and to put it into execution.
'Tis most like he will.
And that will be to him as our good wills, a sure destruction.
So it must fall out to him or our authorities. For an end, we must suggest the people in what hatred he still hath held them, that to his power he would have made them mules, silenced their pleaders, and dispropertied their freedoms.
This, as you say, suggested at some time when his soaring insolence shall touch the people, which time shall not want if he be put upon it, which is as easy as to set dogs on sheep, will be his fire to kindle their dry stubble, and their blaze will darken him forever.
What's the matter?
You were sent for to the capital. 'Tis thought that Martius shall be consul. I've seen the dumb men throng to see him, and the blind to bear him speak. Matrons flung gloves, ladies and maids their scarves and handkerchiefs upon him as he passed. The nobles bended as to Jove's statue, and the commons made a shower and thunder with their caps and shouts. I never saw the like.
Let's to the capital. Keep with us eyes and ears for the time, but hearts for the event.
Please you, most reverend and grave elders, to desire our last consul and general of our most recent successes, and to hear a little of the worthy work done by Caius, Martius, Coriolanus, whom we meet here to both thank and remember with honors like himself.
Well, speak, good Cominius, and leave nothing out for length, and make us think whether our state's defective for requital than we to stretch it out. Masters of the people, we do request your kindest ears, and after your loving motion pour the common body to yield what passes here.
We are convented upon a pleasing treaty, and have hearts inclinable to honor and advance the theme of our assembly.
Which the rather we would be blessed to do. If he remember a kinder value to the people than he here hath to prize them as.
That's off. I would rather you have been silent. Please you to hear Cominius speak.
Most willingly.
And he loves your people, but do not tie him to be their bedfellow. Proceed, worthy Cominius. Nay, keep your place.
Oh, stay, Coriolanus, never shame to hear what you have so nobly done.
Your honor's pardon, but I'd rather have my wounds to heal again than hear say how I got them.
Sir, I hope my words dispensed you not.
No, sir. You soothed not, therefore you hurt not. But your people, I love them as they weigh.
Pray now.
Oh, I'd rather have one scratch my head in the sun when the alarm was struck than to idly stand to hear my nothing's monster.
Voices of the people, with your multiplying spawn, how can he flatter when you now see he would rather risk his limbs for honor than one on ears to hear it? Proceed, Cominius.
I shall act voice. The deeds of Coriolanus must not be uttered feebly. It is held that valor is the chiefest virtue and most dignifies the hammer. If it be, the man I speak of cannot in the world be singly counterpoised. In 16 years, when Tarquin made a head for Rome, he fought beyond the mark of others. Our then dictator, whom with all praise I point at, saw him fight, when with his Amazonian chin, he drove the bristled lips before him. He bestrid an o'erpressed Roman, and in the council view, he slew 3 opposers. Tarquin's self he met, and struck him to his knee. In that day's feat, when he might act the woman in the scene, he proved himself best man in the field, and for his meed was brow-bound with the oak. His pupil age, man entered thus, he waxed like a sea, and in the lurch of 17 battles since, he grabbed all swords of the garland. For this last, before and in Corioli, let me say, I cannot speak him home. He stopped the flyers, and by his rare example, made the coward turn terror into sport. His sword, death's stamp, where it did mark, it took. From face to foot, he was a thing of blood, whose every motion was timed with dying cries. All alone, he entered the mortal gate of the city which he painted with a shunless destiny. Aidless came off when, with a sudden reinforcement, he shook Corioli like a planet. Now all's his. When by and by the din of war gan pierce his ready sense, then straightway his double spirit re-quickened what in flesh was fatigate, and to the battle came he, where he did run reeking o'er the lives of men as 'twere a perpetual spoil. And till we called both field and city ours, he never stood to ease his breast with panting. Worthy man!
He cannot with measure fit the honors which we devise him.
He covets less than misery itself would give. He rewards his deeds with the doing, and is content to spend the time to end it.
He is right, noble. Let him be called.
Call Coriolanus.
The Senate, Coriolanus, is well pleased to call thee consul.
I do owe them still my life and service.
It now do remain that you do speak to the people.
I beseech you, let me o'erleap that custom, for I cannot put on the gown, stand naked, and entreat them for my wound's sake to give their suffrage. Please you that I may pass this doing.
Sir, the people must have their voices. Neither will they bate one jot of ceremony.
I'll put the knot on it. Pray, go you, as is the custom, and take, as your predecessors have, your honors with the form.
As a part I shall blush in acting. To brag unto them, thus I did and thus, show them my unaching scars that I should hide, as if I had received them for the hire of their breath only.
Don't stand upon it. Voices of the people, we desire you to make them our purposes known, and to our noble consul, we give all joy and honor.
To Coriolanus come all joy and honor.
You see how he intends to use the people?
May they proceed's intent.
Come, let's inform them of our proceedings here on the marketplace. I know they.
Once, if he do require our voices, we ought not to deny him.
Oh, we may if we will.
Oh, we have power in ourselves to do it, but it is a power we have no power to do. For if he show us his wounds and tell us his deeds, we are to put our tongue into those wounds and speak for them. So if he tell us his noble deeds, we must also tell him our noble acceptance of them. Are you resolved to give your voice? I say, if he would incline to the people, there was never a worthier man.
Content.
Well, here he comes, and in the gown of humility, mark his behavior.
Sir, you are not right. Have you not known the worthiest men have done it?
What must I say? I pray, sir, plague upon it. I cannot bring my tongue to such a pace. Look, sir, my wounds, I got them in my country's service. When uncertain of your brethren roared and ran from the noise of your own drums.
Oh, me the gods! You must not speak of that! You must desire them to think upon you!
Think upon me? Hang 'em. I would they would forget me, like the virtues which our divines lose by 'em.
Oh, you will mar all! I will leave you, but pray, speak to them, and pray in wholesome manner.
Bid them wash their faces and keep their teeth clean. So here are the priests. Know you the cause heir of my standing here?
We do, sir. Tell us what has brought you to it.
Mine own desert.
Your own dessert?
Aye, but not my own desire.
How not your own desire?
No, it was never my desire yet to trouble the poor with begging.
Oh, you must think, if we give you anything, we hope to gain by you.
I pray then, the price of your consulship.
The price is to ask it kindly.
Kindly? I pray let me have it. I have wounds to show you, which shall be yours in private. Your good voice, what say you?
Oh, you shall have it, worthy sir.
A match, that's an all two worthy voices beg. I have your arms, adieu.
Oh, but this is something odd.
'Tis no matter.
I pray, if it would stand with the tune of your voices, that I may be consul. I have the customary gown.
You have deserved nobly in your country, and you have not deserved nobly.
Your enigma.
You have been a scourge to her enemies. You have been a rod to her friends. You have not indeed loved the common people.
They should account me the more virtuous that I have not been common in my love. But since the wisdom of their choice is rather to have my hat than my heart, I shall practice the insinuating nod, and be off to them most counterfeitly. Therefore I beseech you, I may be consul.
Ahem. You have received many wounds for your country.
Done nobly! He has done nobly! And cannot go without any honest man's voice!
Therefore, let him be consul. The gods give you joy and make you good friend to the people.
God save thee, noble consul.
Worthy voices.
Coriolanus, you have stood your limitation, and the tribunes do imbue you with the voice of the people. It now doth remain that you in your official marks do anon meet the Senate.
Is this done?
The custom of the request you have discharged. The people do admit you, and are summoned to meet anon upon your approbation.
Where? At the Senate House.
There, Coriolanus.
May I change these garments?
You may, sir.
That I'll do straight. And knowing myself again, repair to the Senate House.
I will keep you company. You will along?
We stay here for the people.
Farewell. Has it now, and by his looks, methinks 'tis warm at heart.
With a proud heart he wore his humble weeds. Will you dismiss the people?
How now, my masters? Have you chose this man?
Oh, he has our voices.
We pray the gods he does deserve your loves.
Amen, sir. My poor, unworthy notice, he mocked us when he did beg our voices.
No, 'tis his kind of speech. He did not mock us.
Not one amongst us, save yourself, but says he used us scornfully. He should have shown us his marks of merit, wounds received for his country.
So he did, I am sure.
No man saw him. He said he had wounds which he could show in private. Was not this mockery?
Well, either you were ignorant to see it, or seeing it of such childish friendliness to yield your voices?
Did you perceive he did solicit you in free contempt when he did need your loves? and that his contempt shall not be bruising to you, and he hath power to crush? Why, had your bodies no hearts among you? Or had you tongues to cry against the rectorship of judgment?
He's not confirmed. We may deny him yet.
And will deny him. I'll have 500 voices of that sound.
Get you hence instantly, and tell those friends they have chosen a consul that would from them take their liberties.
Assemble the people, and on a safer judgment, I'll revoke your ignorant election.
Lay a fault on us, your tribunes, that we labored no impediment between, but that you must cast your election upon him.
Say you chose him more after our commandment than as guided by your own true affections, and that your minds, preoccupied with rather what you must do than what you should, made you against the grain to voice in consul. Lay the fault on us.
Aye, spare us not. Say you ne'er had done it. Harp on that still, but by our putting on. And presently, when you have drawn your number, repair to the capital.
We will so. Repent in our election!
Let them go on. If, as nature is, he fall in rage with their refusal, both observe and answer the vantage of his anger.
To the capital come. We'll be there before the stream of the people.
Tullus Aufidius hath made new head.
He had, my lord, and that it was which caused our swifter composition.
So the Volsci stand but as at first, ready when time shall prompt them to make roads upon us again.
They are warned, Lord Consul, so that we shall hardly in our ages see their banners wave again.
Saw you, Aufidius.
On safeguard he came to me, and did curse against the Volscis, for they had so vilely yielded to town. He is retired to Antium.
Spoke he of me?
He did, my lord.
How? What?
How often he had met you, sword to sword, that of all the things upon the earth, he hated your person the most, that he would pawn his fortune to hopeless restitution, so that he might be called your vanquisher.
At Antium lives he.
At Antium.
Wish I had cause to seek him there, to oppose his hatred fully. Welcome home. Behold, the tribunes of the people, the tongues of the common mouth. I do despise them, for they do prank them in authority against all noble sufferers.
Pass no further.
What's this?
It will be dangerous to go on. No further.
What makes this change?
The matter? Hath he not passed the noble and the common?
Cominius? No.
Have I had children's voices?
Tribunes give way. He shall to the marketplace.
The people are incensed against him.
Stop, or all will fall in broil.
Are these your herd? Must these have voices now that can yield their tongue and straight disclaim their tongues? Are you their officers? If you rule their mouths, why rule you not their teeth? Has you not set this on?
Then let's be calm.
It is a purpose thing and grows by plot, to curb the will of the nobility. Suffer it, and live with such as cannot rule, nor ever will be ruled.
Cult's not a plot. The people cry you've mocked them, and of late, when corn was given them gratis, you replied, scandalous suppliants, called them time pleasers, flatterers, foes to the nobleness.
This was known before.
Not to them all.
Have you informed them since?
How? I inform them?
You are like to do such business.
Let's be calm. The people are abused, set on. This paltering becomes not Rome, nor has Coriolanus deserved this so dishonored rub laid falsely in the plain way of his merit.
My honored friends, I beg your pardon. But for the mutable, rank-scented many, let them regard me as I do not flatter, and therein behold themselves. I say again, in nourishing them, we nourish against the Senate the cockle of rebellion, insolence, sedition, by mingling them with us the honored number, who lack not virtue, no nor power, but that which we have given to beggars.
Well, no more.
No more words, we beseech you. How no more? For my country I have shed my blood, so shall my lungs coin words against those measles.
You speak of the people as if you were God to punish, not a man of their infirmity.
'Twere well we let the people know it.
What? What? His color?
Color? Were I as patient as the midnight sleep, by Jove 'twould be my mind.
It is a mind that shall remain a poison where it is, and not poison any further.
Shall remain. Hear you this Triton of the minnows. Mark you her absolute
shall was from the canon. Shall.
Oh, you good but most unwise patricians! Why, you brave but reckless senators, have you thus given Hydra here to choose an officer that with her peremptory shall, being but the horn and noise of the monsters, wants not spirit to say she'll turn your current in a ditch and make your channel hers? If you are learned, be not as common as fools. If you are not, let them have cushions by you. You are plebeians if they be senators. They choose their magistrates. And one such as she, who puts her shall, her popular shall, against a graver bench than ever frowned in Greece. Though there the people had more absolute power. I say they nourished disobedience and fed the ruin of the state.
Why shall the people give one that speaks thus their voice?
I'll give my reasons more worthy than your voices. They know that corn was never our recompense, resting well assured that ne'er did service for it, being pressed to the wars, even when the navel of the state was touched. They would not tread the gates. This kind of service did not deserve corn gratis. The accusation which they have often made against the Senate could never be the motivation of our so frank donation. Well, how shall the multitude digest the Senate's courtesy? Let deeds express what's like to be their word. We did request it. We are the greater poll, and in true fear they granted our demands. Thus, we debase the nature of our seats, make the rabble call our cares fears, which will, in time, break open the locks of the Senate to bring in the crows to peck the eagle.
Come, enough!
Enough with over measure.
Has spoken like a traitor, and shall answer as traitors do.
Manifest treason.
Go. Call the people in whose name myself attach thee as a traitorous innovator, a foe to the public weal. Obey, I charge thee, and follow to thine answer.
Oh, hence thy rotten thing, or I'll shake thy bones out of thy garments.
Help!
On both sides, more respect!
Here is he who would take from you all your power.
Seize him!
Down with him! Hear me, people! Peace! You are at a point to lose your liberties. Martius would have all from you. Martius, whom late you have named for consul.
Nay, that is to kindle, not quench.
To unbuild the city and to lay all flat.
What is the city but the people?
True, the people are the city.
By the consent of all, we were established the people's magistrates.
This deserves death.
By the power of the people in which we were elected theirs, Martius is worthy of present death.
Therefore lay hold of him, bear him to the rock Tarpeian, and from thence into destruction cast him.
Seize him!
Hold, patributes! People, please!
Peace!
Be that what you seem, truly your country's friend, and temperately proceed what you violently redress.
Sir, those cold ways that seem like prudent helps are very poisonous when the disease is violent. Lay hands upon him, and bear him to the rock!
Down with him! Down with him!
Down with him!
Down with him! Down with him! Down with him! Come, sir! Along with us!
He shall be thrown down the Tarpeian rock with rigorous hands. He hath resisted law. Therefore the law shall scorn him further trial than the severity of the public power which he so sets at naught.
He shall well know the noble tribunes of the people's mouths and lead their hands.
Nay, do not cry havoc, where you must hunt with modest warrant.
Sir, how comes it that you have hope to make this rescue?
Hear me! So could I know the consul's worthiness, I can name his faults.
Consul? What consul?
The consul Coriolanus.
He consul?
No! Please, I pray you, please, people! I maybe heard a word or two, which will put you no more in injury than so much loss of time.
Speak briefly then, for we are peremptory to dispatch this viperous traitor. To eject him hence were but one danger, to keep him here, our certain death. Therefore it is decreed he dies tonight.
Oh, good gods! that our renowned Rome, like an unnatural dam, should eat of its own?
He is a disease that must be cut away.
Oh, he is a limb with a disease. It is mortal to cut it off. To cure it is easy. What has he done to Rome that is worthy death? Killing our enemies? The blood he lost, which I vouch is more than he had by any else, he dropped for his country. The rest for his country. Were we to do it and suffer, it would be a brand to end the world.
We'll hear no more. Pursue him to his house and pluck him thence, lest his infection, being of catching nature, spread further.
People, please,
now, what
please,
do ye talk? Have we not had
please,
a taste
people,
of
one more
obedience?
word. Consider this. He has been bred in the wars since he could draw a sword, and he is ill-schooled in bolted language. I beseech you, I will go to him, and undertake to bring him where he shall answer by lawful form to his utmost peril.
Noble tribunes, it is a humane way. The other course would prove too bloody, and the end of it unknown to the beginning.
Noble Menenius, be you then as the people's officer. Masters, lay down your weapons.
Go not home.
Meet on the marketplace. We'll attend you there, where, if you bring not Martius, we'll proceed in our first way.
I will bring you to him. Come, I desire your company. He must come, or what is worse will follow.
Pray you, let's to him.
Let them puff all about my ears. Present me death on the wheel or wild horse's heels, or pile 10 heels on the Tarpeian rock, that the precipitation might downstretch below the beam of sight. Yet will I still be thus to them. I muse my mother did not approve me further. I talk of you. Why did you wish me milder? Did you have me false to my nature? Rather say I play the man I am?
Oh, sir, I would you had put your power well on before you wore it out.
Let go.
Oh, you might have been enough the man you are, with striving less to be so. Less had been the thwarting of your dispositions. If you had not showed them ere you were disposed, before they lost power and couldn't cross you.
Let 'em hang.
Oh, and I burn too.
Come, sir, come. You have been too rough, something too rough. You must return and mend it.
Well, there's no remedy, unless by not doing so our good city cleave in the midst and perish.
Pray be counseled. I have a heart as little apt as yours, but yet a brain that leads my use of anger to better vantage.
Well spoke, noble lady.
What am I to do?
Return to the tribunes.
What then? What then?
Repent what you have spoke.
To them? I can't do it to the gods. Must I do it to them?
You are too absolute. If it be honor in your wars to seem the same you are not, for your best effort you adopt your policy, how is it less or worse? That it should hold companionship in peace with honor as in wars, since that to both it stands in like request.
Why force you this?
Because that now it lies on you to speak to the people. Now, not by your own instructions, nor by the matter your heart prompts you, but with such words that are but rooted in your tongue, although bastards and syllables of no allowance to your bosom's truth. Now this no more dishonors you at all than to take in a town with gentle words, which else would put you to your fortune and the hazard of much blood. I would dissemble with my nature where my fortune and my friends at stake required I should do so in honor.
Noble lady, come, go with us, speak fair. You may salve some, not what is dangerous present, but what is past.
I prithee now, my son, go to them. Say to them, thou art their soldier, that thou wilt frame thyself, forsooth, hereafter, theirs, so long as thou hast power and person.
For it is so, even as she speaks. For they have pardons, their hearts were yours, and when asked pardons as words to little purpose.
I prithee, go to them and be ruled. Although I know thou wouldst rather follow thy enemy into a fiery gulf than flatter him in a bower. Ah, here is Cominius.
I have been in the marketplace, and sir, 'tis fit you should make strong party, or else defend yourself by calmness or by absence. All's in anger.
Aye, but by fair speech.
I think 'twill serve if he can thereto frame his spirit.
He must and will. Say you will, and go about it.
Must I show them my unbarred sconce? Must I, with a base heart, give my noble heart a lie that it must bear? I will do it. To the marketplace! You have put me now to such a pace which never I shall discharge to the life.
Come, we'll prompt you.
I prithee now, my sweet son. Thou hast said, my praise made thee first a soldier. So to have my praise in this, perform a part thou hast not done before.
Well, I must do it. Away my disposition, and possess me some harlot spirit. My throat of war turned into a pipe, and smiles of knaves tint in my cheeks. A beggar's tongue make motion through my lips, and schoolboys' tears take up the glasses of my sight. And my armed knees, that bent but in my stirrups, band like his that have received an alms, I will not do it, lest I cease to honor my own nature, and by my body's actions teach my mind a most inherent baseness.
At thy choice then, to beg of thee it is more my dishonor than thou of them. Oh, come all to ruin. Let thy mother rather feel thy pride than fear thy dangerous stoutness. I mock at death with as big a heart as thou. Do as thou list. Thy valiantness was mine. Thou suckest it from me. But oh, thy pride thyself.
Pray be content. Mother, I'm going to the marketplace. Chide me no more. I'll mountebank their loves, cog their hearts from them, and come home beloved of all the traits in Rome. Look, I'm going. Commend me to my wife. I'll return consul. I'll never trust to what my tongue can do in the way of flattery further.
Do your will.
Away! The tribunes do attend you. Arm yourself to answer mildly, for they are prepared with accusations against you, as I hear, more strong than are upon you yet.
The word is mildly. Let them charge me by invention. I will answer in mine honor.
But mildly.
Mildly be it then. Mildly!
In this point, charge him home that he affects tyrannical power. If he evade us there, enforce him with his envy to the people, and that the spoil they got on the Anshites were ne'er distributed. What, will he come?
He's coming.
How accompanied?
With old Menenius and the senators that always favored him.
Have you a catalogue of all the names we have procured as set down by the polls?
I have. 'Tis ready.
Have you collected them by tribes?
I have.
Assemble presently the people hither, and when they hear me say, it shall be so in the right and the strength of the commons, be it either for fine, for death, or for banishment. Let them then, if I say fine, cry fine. If death, cry death. Insisting on the old prerogative and the power and the truth of the cause.
I shall inform them.
And in which time they have begun to cry, let them not cease, but with the din confused, enforce the present execution of what we chance to sentence.
Very well.
Let them be strong and ready for this hint when we shall have to give it them.
Go about it. Put him to collar straight. He'th been used ever to conquer, and has had his worth of contradiction. Being once chafed, he cannot be reined again into temperance. Then he speaks what's in his heart, and that is there which looks to us to break his neck.
Here he comes.
I beseech you, only.
I as an officer. And for the poor piece will bear the name by the volume.
Amen. Draw near, ye people.
Down with him! Down with him! Down with him! Down with him! Down with him!
Tribunes, peace I say! Most hear me speak! Well, say, must I be charged no further than this present? Must all be decided here?
I do demand, if you submit you to the people's voices, allow their officers and are content to suffer lawful censure for such faults as shall be proved upon you.
I am content.
Lo, citizens, he is content. His warlike duty is done. Consider the wounds his body bears like graves in the holy churchyard. And consider further that when you hear him speak not like a citizen, that you consider it as a soldier. Do not confuse his harsher language with malicious sounds, but that which becomes a soldier rather than envy you.
What's the matter? They're being passed for consul with full voice. I am so dishonored that the very hour you take it off again.
We charge you that you have contrived to take from Rome all seasoned office, to wind yourself into a power tyrannical, for which you are a traitor to the people.
How traitor?
Nay, temperately, your promise.
Oh, the lowest fires in the hell fold in the people. Call me their traitor, thou injurious tribune.
Mark you this, people?
To the rock!
Peace! We need not lay new matter to his charge. What you have seen him do and heard him speak, beating your officers, cursing yourselves, opposing laws with strokes, and hereby defying those whose great power must try him. Even this, so criminal and in such capital kind, deserves extremest death.
Is this the promise you have made your mother? No, I pray you.
I know no further. Let them pronounce steep Tarpeian death, vagabond exile, reign Pentalinger with but a grain a day. I would not buy their mercy for the price of one fair word.
For that he has, as much as in him lies, from time to time, envy against the people, seeking means to pluck away their power. In the name of the people, and in the power of us, the tribunes, we, even from this instant, banish him, our city, in peril of precipitation from off the rock Tarpeian, never more to enter our Rome gates. In the people's name, I say it shall be so.
It shall be so. It shall be so. It shall be so. Hear me, my masters, and my promised friends.
There is no more hearing.
There's no more so. But he is shall be so. As an enemy of the people and his cause.
It shall be so. It shall be so. It shall be so.
You common cry of curs, whose breath I hate as the reek of rotten fens, whose loves I prize as the dead carcasses of unburied men that do corrupt my air. I banish you, and here remain with your uncertainty. Let every feeble rumor shake your hearts. Your enemies, with nodding of their plumes, fan you into despair. Despising for you the city, thus I turn my back. There is a world elsewhere.
The people's enemy is gone! Is gone!
Go, meet him at the gates, and follow him as he hath followed you. With all despite, give him deserved vexation.
Thornton, usk from hen, Fana beheth ugain ugamo tho shosut. Fana beheth ugain ugamo.
Come, leave your tears. A brief farewell. The feast with many heads butts me away.
Behenai, beheth.
Nay. Prithee, woman.
And now the red pestilence strike the trades of Rome and occupations perish.
What? I will be loved when I am lacked. Farewell, my wife. I'll do well yet. My old and true Menenius. My tears are saltier than a younger man's, and venomous to thine eyes. My mother. Though I go alone, your son will or exceed the common, or be caught with cotulous baits and practices.
My first son, whither wilt thou go? Take good Cominius with thee a while, determine on some course. Move in a wild exposure at each chance that starts in the way before thee.
I'll follow thee a month, devise with thee where thou shalt rest, that thou mayest hear of us and we of thee.
Fare thee well. You have years upon you, and are too full of the war suffice to go and rove with one that is yet unbruised. Bring me but out at gate. My sweet wife, my dear mother, my friend of noble touch, bid me farewell, smile. While I remain above the ground, you will hear from me still.
That's as worthy as any ear can hear. Come, let us not weep.
Bid him home, he's gone, and we'll no further. The nobility are vexed whom we see have sided on his behalf.
Now we have shown our power. Let us seem humbler now that it's done than when it was a doing.
Bid them home. Say their great enemy is gone, and they stand in their ancient strength.
Dismiss them home. Here comes his mother.
Let's not meet her.
Why?
They say she is mad.
They have taken note of us. Keep on your way.
Oh, ye are well met. The horrid plagues of the gods requite your love.
Peace, be not so loud.
If that I could, for weeping you should hear. Nay, you shall hear some. Oh, will you be gone?
Oh, nay, you shall stay too. Or would I have the power to say so to my husband?
Are you mankind?
Aye, fool. Oh, is that shame? Note but this fool was not a man, my father. Thou hadst foxship to banish he who struck more blows for Rome than thou hast ever spoken words.
Blessed heavens.
More noble blows than thou ever wise words, and for Rome's good. I'll tell you what. I would my son were in Arabia, thy tribe before him, his good sword in his hand.
What then?
What then? He'd make an end of thy posterity.
Bastards and all! Oh, good man! The wounds he doth bear for Rome!
Come, peace!
I would he had continued to his country as he had begun, and not unknit himself the noble knots he had made.
I would he had.
I would he had! 'Twas you incensed the rabble!
Pray, let us go.
Oh, no! Pray, get thee gone! You have done a brave deed! Ere you go, hear this. As far as the capital doth exceed the meanest house in Rome, so far my son, this lady's husband here, this, do you see, whom you banished, does exceed you all.
Well, we'll leave you.
Why stay we to be baited with one who wants her wit?
Take my prayers with you. I would the gods had nothing else to do but to confirm my passes. Could I meet them but once a day, it would unclog my heart of what heart lies heavy to it.
You have told them home. By my troth, you had just cause. Now, You will sup with me.
Anger's my meat. I sup on myself.
Fine.
I know you well, madam, and you know me. Your name, I think, is Adrian?
It is so, sir. Truly, I had forgotten you.
I am a Roman, and my services are as you are against him. Know you me yet?
Nicanor? No!
The same.
You had more beard when I last saw you. But your favor is well approved by your tongue. What's the news in Rome? I have a note from the Volscian state to find you out there. You have well saved me a day's journey.
There hath been in Rome strange insurrections, the people against the senators, patricians, and nobles.
Hath been? Is it ended then? Our state thinks not so. They are in a most warlike preparation and hope to come upon them in the heat of their division.
The main blaze of it is past, but a small thing would make it flame again. For the nobles receive so to heart the banishment of that worthy Coriolanus that they are in an apt ripeness to take all power from the people and to pluck from them their tribunes forever. This lies glowing, I can tell you, and is almost mature for the violent breaking out.
Coriolanus banished?
Banished, madam.
You will be welcome with this intelligence, Nicanor.
The day serves well for them now. I've heard it said the fittest time to corrupt a man's wife is when she's fallen out with her husband. Your noble Tullus Aufidius will appear well in these wars, his great opposer, Coriolanus, now being in no request of his country.
I am most fortunate thus accidentally to encounter you. You have ended my business, and I will merrily accompany you home.
I shall, between this and supper, tell you most strange things from Rome, all tending to the good of their adversaries. Have you an army ready, say you?
A most royal one. The centurions in their charges distinctly billeted, already in the entertainment, and to be on foot at an hour's warning.
I am joyful to hear of their readiness, and then the man I think that shall set them in present action. So heartily well met, and most glad of your company.
You take my part from me, sir. I have the most cause to be glad of yours.
Well, let us go together.
Goodly city this, Antium. City 'tis I that made thy widows.
Wine, what service is here? I think our fellows are asleep.
Where's Codus? My master calls for him! Codus!
Save you, sir.
And you?
Direct me, if it be your will, where great Aufidius lies. Is he in Antium?
He is.
Which house is his, I beseech you?
Here before you.
Thank you. Farewell.
What would you have, friend? Here is no place for you. I pray thee, go to the door.
I deserve no better entertainment in being Coriolanus. O world, thy slippery turns. My birthplace I hate, and my love's upon this enemy town. I'll enter. If he slay me, he does fair justice. If he give me way, I'll do his country service.
Oh, whence are you, sir? Has the porter his eyes in his head that he gives entrance to such companions? Pray get you out!
Away.
Away? Get you away!
Now thou art troublesome.
Are you so brave? I'll have you talk with anon.
Oh.
Ho ho! What fellow is this?
The strangest one as I've ever looked on. And can I get him out of the house? Prithee, call my master to him.
What have you to do here, fellow? Pray you, avoid the house.
Let me but stand. I will not harm your heart.
What are you?
A gentleman.
A marvelous poor one.
True, sir, I am.
Well, pray you, poor gentleman. Here's no place for you. Take up some other station. Come, pray.
Follow your function! Go and batten on cold a bits!
Do not go.
Prithee tell my master what a strange guest we have here.
And I shall!
Where is this fellow?
Here, sir, and I'd have beaten him like a dog for disturbing the lords of this.
Whence comest thou? What wouldst thou? Thy name. Why speakest not? Speak, man, what's thy name?
A name unmusical to Volscian ears, and harsh in sound to thine.
Say what's thy name. Thou hast a grim appearance, and thy face bears a command in it. Though thy tackle's torn, thou showest a noble's vessel.
My name is Caius Martius, who have done to thee particularly, and to all the Volsces great hurt and mischief. Thereto witness may my surname, Coriolanus. Severe pains, the extreme dangers and drops of blood shed for my thankless country are requited but with that surname. Only the name remains. The cruelty and envy of the people, permitted by our dastard nobles, who have all forsook me, have devoured the rest, and suffered me by the voices of slaves to be whooped out of Rome. Now, this extremity hath brought me to thy harm. Not out of hope, mistake me not, to save my life. For had I feared death of all the men in the world, I would have avoided thee. But out of mere spite, to be full quit of my banishers, stand I before thee here. Then, thou hast a heart of wreak in thee, that will revenge thy own particular wrongs, speed thee straight, and make my misery serve thy turn. So use it, that my revengeful services can prove as benefits to thee. For I will fight against my cankered country with the spleen of all the under-fiends. But if it be so thou darest not this, then in a word I am longer to live most weary. Present my throat to thy ancient malice, which not to cut would show thee but a fool. For I have ever followed thee with hate, and cannot live but to thy shame, unless it be to do thee service.
Oh, Martius. Martius! Each word thou hast spoke has weeded from my heart a root of ancient envy. If Jupiter should from yon cloud speak divine things and say, "'Tis true," I would not believe them more than thee, all noble Martius. Let me twine mine arms about that body, where my grey gnash 100 times hath broke and crushed the moon with splinters. Why, thy Mars! Oh, I'll tell thee. Why, we have a power on foot, and I have purpose once more to hew thy target from thy brawn, or lose mine arm for it. Thou hast beaten me 12, several times, and I have nightly since dreamt of encounters twixt thyself and me. We have been down together in my sleep, unbuckling helms and fisting each other's throats and waked half dead with nothing. Worthy Martius, if we had no quarrel else to Rome but that thou hast thence been banished, we would muster all from 12 to 70, and pouring war down the ungrateful bowels of Rome like a bold flood o'erbear. Oh, come, go in and take our friendly senators by the hand, who are now here, taking their leaves of me, who am prepared against your territories, though not for Rome itself.
You bless me, God.
Therefore, all worthy sir, if thou wilt take the leading of thine own revenges, take the one half of my commission, and set forth as best thou art experienced thine own ways, whether to be to knock upon the gates of Rome, or rudely visit in places remote, to fright, dare, destroy. But come, let me be the first to commend thee to those that will say yea to all of your desires. 1,000 welcomes, and more a friend than e'er an enemy.
There's a strange alteration.
Oh, by my hand, I had thought to have struck at him with a cudgel, but my mind gave me his clothes made a false report of him.
Huh? What an arm he has! He turned me about with his finger and thumb as one would set up a top.
Oh, nay, I knew by his face there was something in him. He had, sir, a kind of face, methought. Oh, I cannot tell how to term it.
He had so, looking as it were, would I were hanged, and I thought there was more in him than I could think.
Oh, so did I, I'll be sworn. He is simply the rarest man in the world.
Yeah, I think he is, but a greater soldier than he you wot on.
Who? My master?
Nay, it's no matter for that.
Oh, worth 6 on him.
Ha! Not so neither, but I take him to be the greater soldier.
Oh, faith, look you, one cannot tell how to say that. Oh, for the defense of a town, our general is excellent.
Aye, and for an assault, too.
Slaves, I can tell you news, you rascals!
What? Let's partake!
I will not be a Roman of all nations. I has leave be a condemned man.
Wherefore?
Why, he is so many on here within, as if he was son and heir to Mars. Set at upper end of table, no question asked him by any of the senators, but they stand bald before him. But the bottom of the news is that our general is cut in the middle about one half of what he was yesterday. For the other half has the entreaty and granite of the whole table. He'll go, he says, and saddle the porter of Rome's gates by the ears. He will mow all down before him and leave his passage cold.
And he's as like to do it as any man I can imagine.
When goes us forward?
Tomorrow, today, presently, you shall have the drum struck up this afternoon. 'Tis as it were a parcel of their feast, to be executed ere they wipe their lips. Yes!
Why, then we shall have a stirring world again. Oh, this peace is nothing but to rust iron, increase tailors, and breed ballad makers.
Let me have wars! It exceeds peace as day does night. It's full of vexing, audible. Peace is so very. Apoplexy, lethargy, insensible, mold, deaf, sleepy. It's a getter of more bastard children than wars that destroy your men.
Aye, and it makes men hate one another.
Reason? Because they then less need one another. Oh, the war's for my money. I hope to see Romans as cheap as bullskin.
We hear not of him, neither need we fear him. His remedies are tame in the present peace and quietness of the people, who were before in wild hurry.
Is this Menenius?
'Tis he.
Hail to you both.
Your Coriolanus is not much missed, but with his friends.
All's well. Could have been better, could he have been temporized.
Where is he, hear you?
Nay, I hear nothing. His mother, his wife, hear nothing.
Oh, the gods preserve you both.
Got in, neighbor.
Got in.
Myself, my wife, and children on our knees are bound to pray for you both.
Live and thrive.
Farewell, kind neighbor. We wish that Coriolanus had loved you as we did.
Now the gods bless you.
Farewell.
This is a happier and more comely time than when these fellows were running about the streets crying confusion.
Caius Martius was a worthy officer I the war, but insolent, overcome with pride, ambitious past all thinking, self-loving.
And affecting one sole throne without assistance.
Worthy tribunes, there is a slave whom we have put in prison. Reports the Volskis with 2 several powers are entered in the Roman territory, and with the deepest malice of the war, destroy what lies before them.
'Tis Aufidius. Hearing of Martius' banishment, he thrusts his horns into the world.
What talk you of Martius?
Go see this rumor whipped. It cannot be the Volskis dare break with us.
Cannot be. We have reckoned it very well can. And 3 such examples we have in my age. But reason with this fellow before you punish him where he heard this, lest you beat the information from the messenger that is to be bringing what is dreaded.
Well, tell not me. I know this cannot be.
Not possible.
The nobles, in great earnestness, are going all to the Senate House. Some news has come that turns their countenances.
'Tis this slave. Go whip him for the people's eyes. His
Yes, worthy lady. The slave's report is seconded, and more fearful is delivered.
What more fearful?
It is spoke freely out of many mouths. How probable, I do not know, that Martius, joined with Aufidius, leads a power against Rome, and vows revenge as spacious as between the youngest and oldest thing.
This is most likely.
Raised only that the weaker sort may wish good Martius home again.
The very trick on't.
'Tis unlikely. He and Aufidius can no more atone than violentest contrariety.
You are sent for to the Senate. A fearful army, led by Caius Martius, associated with Aufidius, rages upon our territory.
You have made good work.
May your news. If Martius has joined with the Volscians,
If he is their god, he leads them like a thing made by some other deity than nature that shapes men better. And they follow him against us brats with no less confidence than boys pursuing summer butterflies or butchers killing flies.
you have made good work. You and your apron men, who so stood on the voices of occupation and the breath of garlic eaters.
He will shake your Rome about your ears.
But is this true, sir?
Aye, and you'll look pale before you find another.
We are all undone, unless the noble man have mercy.
Who shall ask it? The tribunes cannot do it for shame. The people deserve no more pity from him than the wolf does of the shepherd. For his best friends, if they should say, "Be good to Rome," they charged him as those who were deserving of his hatred and showed themselves like enemies.
'Tis true. If he said to my house the brand that will consume it, I have not the face to say, "Beseech you, cease." Oh, this is most horrible.
You have brought such a trembling about Rome that it is so incapable of help.
Say not we brought it.
How? Was it we? We loved him. And yet, the cowardly nobles gave way to your clusters that did hoot him out of the city.
But I fear they'll roar him in again. Tullus Aufidius, the second name among men, obeys his orders as if he were an officer. Desperation is all the policy, strength, and defense that Rome can make against them.
You are he that made the air unwholesome with your stinking greasy caps that did hoot at Coriolanus' exile. Now he is coming. And not a hair on a soldier's head will be worth a whip. As many coxcombs as you threw caps up will he rain down on you and your cries. Oh, but no matter. If he burned us all into one coal, we have deserved it.
Mine own part, when I said banish him, I said 'twas pity. To say the truth, so did very many of us. And we did for the best. Though we willingly consented to his banishment, yet it was against our will.
Ye goodly things, you voices!
You have made good work, you and your cries. Shall us to the capital?
Oh, aye. What else?
Oh, master, get you home. These are but a sight who would be glad to see true what they so seem to fear. Go home. Show no signs of fear.
Gods be good to us.
I have told you we were the wrong when we said banish him.
I do not like this news.
Nor I.
Was to the capital with half my wealth would buy this for a lie.
Pray, let us go.
I do not know with witchcraft sent him, but your soldiers use him as their grace for meat, their talk at table, and their thanks at end. You are darkened in this action, sir, even by your own.
I cannot help it now, unless by using means I lame the foot of our design.
Yet I wish, sir, I mean for your particular, that you had not joined in commission with him, but either had borne the action of yourself, or else to him had left it solely.
I understand thee well, but be thou sure, he does not know what I can urge against him. He hath left undone which shall break his neck or hazard mine, but we have come to our account.
Sir, I beseech you, think you he'll carry Rome?
of all places yield to him ere he sits down. The nobles of Rome are his. The senators and patricians love him too. The tribunes are no soldiers, and their people will be rash in their repeal, as hasty to expel him thence. I think he'll be to Rome as the osprey to the fish, taking by sovereignty of nature. Come, let's away. When, Caius, Rome is thine, thou art poorest of all, then shortly art thou mine.
Nay, I will not go. You heard how he hurt Cominius, which his sometimes general that he loved in dear particular. He called me father, but what of it? You go who banished him, and a mile before his tent fall down and knee your way into his mercy. Nay, if he coined at Cominius, I'll keep it home.
He would not seem to know me. Coriolanus he would not answer to, forbade all names. He was a kind of nothing, Titus, till he had forged himself a name from the fires of burning Rome. I offered to reawaken his regard for his private friends. He responded that he could not stay to pick them in a pile of noisome, musty chaff. He said 'twas folly for one poor grain or two to leave the rest unburnt and still to nose the offense.
For one poor grain or two. I am one of those. His mother, his wife, his child, this trusty fellow. We are the grains. You are the musty chaff that must be smelt above the moon. We must be burned for you.
Nay, pray be patient. Yet if you would be our country's pleader, your good tongue more than any instant army we might make might stop our countrymen.
No, I'll not go.
Pray you go to him.
And say that I am returned as Cominius was unheard. What then?
Yet your goodwill must have those thanks from Rome.
I'll undertake it. I think he will hear me. Though he did bite his lip at Cominius, much unhearts me. Yet he was not taken well, he had not dined. Our blood unfilled, our blood is cold. With wine and food we have subtler souls than our priestly fasts. Therefore I will look to him. When he is dieted to my request, I will set upon him.
You know the very road into his kindness and cannot lose your way.
By my faith, I shall prove him, speed how it will. You will hear of my success ere for long.
He'll never hear him.
Not?
I tell you, all hope is vain, unless his noble mother and his wife, who as I hear mean to solicit him for mercy to his country. Therefore hence, and let us with our good entreaties haste them on.
Whence are you?
Stand, go back.
You guard like men. 'Tis well, but I am an officer of state, and I will speak with Coriolanus.
From whence?
From Rome.
You may not pass. The general no more hear from thence. You must return.
You'll see your Rome embraced with fire, or you'll speak with Coriolanus.
Good friends, if your general has spoke oft of Rome and his friends there, my name has touched your ears. I am Menenius.
Be it so, the virtue of your name is not here passable. You must return.
Good friends, remember, my name is Menenius, always factionary on the part of your general.
Howsoever you have been his liar, as you say you have, I am one that, telling true under him, must say you cannot pass. Therefore, go back.
Has he dined? Canst thou tell? I will not speak with him until after dinner.
You are Roman, are you?
I am, as my general is.
Then you should hate Rome as he does.
Aye.
You are condemned. Our general has sworn you out of reprieve and pardon.
Sirrah, If your captain were now here, he would use me with estimation.
Oh, come. My captain knows you not.
I mean thy general.
Our general cares not for you. Back! Lest I let forth your half-pint of blood, I say back! That is the utmost of your having back!
Get
back!
What's the matter?
Now, companion, I'll have an errand for you. You shall know that I am used in estimation, and that some jack guardian cannot office me from my son, Coriolanus. The good gods sit an hourly synod upon thy present prosperity, loving you no less than thy old father Menenius does. Oh, my son, thou art preparing fire for us. I was hardly moved to come to thee, but to being told I was the only one that could move thee, I was blown out of your gates with sighs, and I conjure you to forgive Rome and your petitionary countrymen. The good gods can assuage thy anger and turn its dregs on this varlet here, who like a block denied access to you.
Away.
How? Away?
Wife, mother, child, I know not. My affairs are servitude to others. Therefore be gone. My ears against your suits are stronger than your gates against my force. Yet for I love thee, take this along. I read it for thy sake and would have sent it. Another word, Menenius, I will not hear thee speak. This man Aufidius was my beloved in Rome. And now behold it.
You keep a constant temper.
Now, sir, is your name Menenius?
'Tis a spell, you see, of much power. You know the way home again.
Let your general do his worst. As you are long, may your misery increase with your age, and as I was sent to. I say, away.
We will before the walls of Rome tomorrow send down our host. My partner in this action, you must report to the Volscian lords how plainly I have borne this business.
Only their ends have you respected. Stopped your ears against a general suit of Rome. Never a private whisper, no. Not to such friends that thought them sure of you.
This last old man, whom with a cracked heart I sent to Rome, loved me above the measure of a father. Nay, guarded me indeed. Their latest refuge was to send him, for whose old love I have, though I showed sourly to him once more offered their first conditions, which they did refuse and cannot now accept. Fresh embassies and suits, nor from the state, nor from private friends, hereafter will I lend ear to. What shout is this? Shall I be tempted to infringe my vow at the same time it is made? I will not.
Lord and husband.
His eye is not the same I wore in Rome.
Sorrow that leaves us thus changed makes you think so.
Kiss. As long as my exile, as soon as my revenge. Gods, I prayed. The most noble mother of the world leave unsaluted. My deeper duty more impression show than that.
Thou art my warrior. I hope to frame thee. Do you know this lady?
The noble sister of Publicula, dear Valeria.
And this is a poor epitome of yours, which the interpretation of full time may show like all thyself. Your niece, Sirrah.
It's my brave boy.
Even he, your wife, this lady, and myself are suitors
I do
to
beseech you peace. If you ask, remember this before. The thing I have forsworn to grant must never be held by your denials. Desire me not to dismiss my soldiers, or capitulate again with Rome's mechanics. Tell me not where I may seem unnatural,
Desire not to ally my rages and revenge with your more colder reasons.
No more, no more! You have said you will not grant us anything, for we have nothing else to ask but that which you deny already. Yet we will ask. For if you fail in this request, the blame may hang upon your hardness. Therefore hear us.
Aufidius, you Adrian mark, will not hear from Rome in private. Your request.
Should we be silent and not speak, our raiment and state of bodies would bewray what life we have led since thy exile. Thinkest with thyself how more unfortunate than all women living that we come hither, making thy mother, wife, and child to see the son, the husband, the father, tearing his country's bowels out. Thou bearest us. Our prayers to the gods, which all but we enjoy, for how can we? Alas, how can we for our country pray? Whereto we are bound together with thy victory. Whereto we are bound? Oh, we must lose the country, our dear nurse, or thy person, our comfort in the country. We must find an evident calamity, though we had our wish which side should win. Either thou must, as a foreign recreant, be led with manacles through our streets, or triumphantly tread on thy country's ruin, and bear the palm of having bravely shed thy wife and children's blood. For my part, son, I purpose not to wait on fortune till these wars determine. If I cannot persuade thee, rather to show a noble grace to both parts, than to seek the end of one. Thou shalt no sooner march to assault thy country than tread, oh, trust to it, thou shalt not, on thy mother's womb that brought thee to this world.
Aye, and mine that brought you forth this boy to keep your name living to time.
I shall not tread on me. I shall run away till I'm bigger, but then I'll fight.
I have stayed too long.
Nay, do not promise thus. Were it so that our request would tend to save the Romans and destroy the vultures whom you serve, then you might condemn us as poisonous to thy honor. No! Our request is that you reconcile them. While the vultures may say this mercy we have showed, the Romans this we have received, and each and either side will give the all hail to thee, and cry, be blessed for making up this peace. For thou knowest, son, great son, the end of war's uncertain, but this certain, if you conquer Rome, the benefit you will thereby reap is such a name whose repetition will be dogged with curses, whose chronicle writ he was noble, but with his last effort he wiped it out, he destroyed his country, and his name remains to the ensuing ages abhorred. Speak to me, son. Thinkest it honorable for a noble man to still remember wrongs? No, speak to him, daughter. Oh, he cares not for your weeping. Speak to him, boy. Perhaps your childishness can move him more than our reason. Thou hast never been a man in all the world more bound to his mother. Yet here you let me prate like one in the stocks. Thou hast never in thy life given thy dear mother any courtesy, while she, poor hen, fond of no second brood, plucked thee to the wars and safely home, loaden with honors. Say my request is unjust, and spurn me back. But if it is not true, if thou not honest, the gods will plague thee. Thou restrainest from me the duty to a mother's part belongs. Steps away. Down, ladies, let us shame him with our knees. To the Senate Coriolanus longs more pride than pity to our prayers. Down! And in. This is the last. So, we will home to Rome and die among our neighbors. Come, let's go. I am hushed until our city be afire. And then I will speak a little.
Mother, what have you done? Behold, the heavens do open. The gods look down, and at this unnatural scene they laugh at. Oh, my mother. Oh, mother, you have won a happy victory for Rome. But for your son, believe it. Oh, believe it, most dangerously with him you have prevailed. Not most deadly to him. But let it come. Aufidius, I cannot make true wars. I will frame a convenient peace. Aufidius, were you in my stead, would you have hurt a mother less or granted less? Aufidius!
I was moved withal.
I dare be sworn you were. Aufidius, it's no small thing to make my eyes sweat compassion. But for my peace, you make what peace you will. For my part, I'll not back to Rome. I'll back with you. And I pray that you stand with me in this cause. Mother. Wife.
I am glad thou hast set thy mercy and thy honor at difference in me. Out of that I'll work myself a former fortune.
By and by. Enter, drink with us. You will bear a better witness back than words, which we on like conditions will have countersealed. Come, enter with us. Ladies, you deserve a temple built to you. All the swords in Italy and her Confederate arms could not have made this peace.
See yonder coin of the Capitol, yon cornerstone?
Why? What of that?
If it be possible for you to displace it with your little finger, then there is some hope that the ladies of Rome will prevail with him. But I say there is no hope. Our necks are sentenced and stay upon execution.
Is it possible that so short a time can alter the condition of a man?
This Martius has grown from man to dragon. He has wings. He is not some creeping thing.
He loved his mother dearly.
So did he me. And he no more remembers his mother than an 8-year-old horse. Mark what mercy his mother shall bring from him. There is as much mercy in him as there is milk in a male tiger. All this our city will find, and all of it long of you.
The gods be good unto us.
No! In such a case, the gods will not be good to us. When we banished him, we respected not them, and now that he is returning to break our necks, they respect not us.
Madam, if you'd save your life, fly to your house. The plebeians have got your fellow tribune, and hail him up and down, all swearing. If the Roman ladies bring not comfort home, they'll give him death by inches.
Sicinia!
What's the news?
Oh, good news! Good news! Oh, the ladies have prevailed. The Volscans are dislodged and Martius gone. Merrier Tate had never yet freed Rome. No, not the expulsion of the Tarquins.
Friend, art thou certain this is true? Is it most certain?
As certain as I am the sun is fire.
This is good news. I will go meet the ladies. Oh, this Volumnia. It's worth patricians, consuls, senators, a city full. For tribunes such as you, a sea and land full. You have prayed well today. This morning I would not have given 1,000 doits for your throat. Hark, how they joy.
Go thee to the lords of... Having read it, bid them repair to the market, where I, even in theirs and the commons' ears, will vouch the truth of it. He that I accuse, the city ports by this hath entered, and intends to appear before the people, hoping to purge himself with words, dispatch.
How is it with our general?
I raised him, upon my honor for his truce. He came to my hearth, presented to my knife his throat. I gave in to him, gave him way in all his desires, nay, let him choose from my files which projects to accomplish. My best and freshest men hoped to reap the fame which did end all his, till at the last I appeared his follower, not partner. And he did wage his countenance upon me, as if I was mercenary.
So he did, my lord. The army marveled at it. And the last, when he had carried Rome, and that we looked for no less spoil than glory.
There was it for which my sinews shall be stretched upon him at a few drops of women's room, which are as cheap as lies. He sold the blood and labor of our great action. Therefore he shall die, and I will renew myself in his fall. Hark!
Your native town you entered like a post, and had no welcomes home. But he returned, splitting the air with noise. And patient fools whose children he hath slain, their base throats tear with giving him glory. Therefore, at your vantage, ere he expressed himself, remove the people with what he would say. Let him feel your sword, which mine will second. When he lies along, after your way his tale pronounced shall bury his reasons with his body.
Say no more.
You are most welcome home.
I am not deserving of it. But worthy my lord, have you with haste read what I have written?
I have, and grieved to hear it. What faults he made before the last, I think, might have found easy fines. Then to end where he was to begin, and giving away the benefits of our levies, answering us with our own charge. To make a treaty where there was a yielding, this admits no excuse.
Approaches, you will hear him.
Hail, Lord! I am returned your soldier, no more infected with my country's love than when I parted hence, yet still subsisting under your great command. You are to know that prosperously I have attempted, and with bloody passage led your wars even to the gates of Rome. I have made peace, with no less honor to the Anseites than shame to the Romans, and here deliver, together with the seal of the Senate, what we have compounded on.
Yeah! Lord, but tell the traitor in the highest degree he hath abused your powers.
Traitor? How now?
Traitor, Martius.
Martius?
I, Martius. Caius Martius, dost thou think I will grace thee with that robbery? Thy stolen name, Coriolanus and Corioli? You, lord and head of states, perfidiously he hath broken your reasoning, and sold for a few drops of salt your city. I say your city to his wife and mother, and broke his oath and resolution like a rotten twist of silk.
Oh, hearest thou, Mars?
Name not the god, thou boy of tears.
Measureless liar, thou hast made my heart too great for what contains it. Boy!
Peace both, and hear me speak.
Cut me to pieces, Volsky's men and lads. Stain all your edges on me. Boy! If you had writ your annals true, it is there. And like an eagle in a death cold, alone I swear your bullskin and Corioli. Alone I did it, boy!
My lord, will that be made by his broken fortune, which was your shame, by this unholy braggart for your own eyes and ears?
Let him die for it!
Outrage, peace! This is a noble man, whose fame folds in this orb of the earth. His last offenses to us shall have judicious hearing. Stand, Aufidius, and trouble not the peace.
Oh, that I had him with 6 Aufidiuses or more his tribe, to use my lawful sword.
Insolent villain!
Hold, hold! Hold!
My masters, hear me speak!
Tullus, less than a deed whereat valor will weep.
My lord, when thou shalt know, as in this rage, provoked by him you cannot, the great danger his life did owe you, thou will rejoice he is thus cut out. Please it your lord to call me to your senate. I will deliver myself your loyal servant, or endure your heaviest censure.
Bear from hence his body, and mourn you for him. For him be regarded as the most noble corpse as ever did herald follow to his urn.
That he shall have a noble memory.